a bit late with our agenda. We want to still show you the recording from Ott, which he sent us because he couldn't be here. So, but we are very happy to share the recording with you because Ott Velsberg, so who is he? He's a chief data officer of Estonian government. And he's working at Estonian Ministry of Economic Affairs and Communications. And why we are very happy to have his support with us is that he is the guy who is dealing with open source stack in Estonian tech side. Yeah, shortly. So please, let's welcome Ott's recording. And please grab the lunch here or have the lunch later. You will definitely have at least 40 minutes after Ott. Yes. So thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that by 2030, Estonia is full of digital power. Our economy is powerful due to digitalization and also supporting companies in utilizing the different digital solutions that the government has actually developed. Similarly, we are aggressively trying to support companies, but also people in utilizing the data that the government has, whether it is through the human-centric aspect whereby we are empowering companies and citizens to share government health data via consent, or we are talking about open data, or even different core services and technologies that the government has developed. The idea is reusability and developing the e-government together. And this, in the end, allows us to create a more fertile and better foundation for the economy and also the society to grow. And a key aspect in doing that is through collaboration. When looking at the e-government vision, then it is really achievable through both leaps and foundations. When I'm talking about leaps, some of the core aspects relate to AI-powered government, so making better use of artificial intelligence, making better data-driven decisions. And the second aspect is human-centric digital government. The idea is empower and enable citizens and in future companies to share government health data with other stakeholders, empowering companies and people themselves to decide how different stakeholders can utilize their data, providing transparency how their data is being processed. But in order to make the leaps possible, it is crucial to work on the foundation. Whether it is the reuse of data or open innovation, development of GovTech community, they are all important when it comes to developing the next generation e-government. But let's jump into the data side. The evolution when it comes to data hasn't always been kind of linear in any sense. When the e-government itself started, it was more about digitalization. It was about developing systems. No one was considering really that data itself has value in itself. Up to mid-2020s, it was really about delivering of e-services. Data existed. People already started to understand that they are important in service delivery, but it was oftentimes just solely for the service delivery. And this was always, it was really exemplified as well. So when you look back, Estonia was lagging when it came to open data. We were second to last in Europe in open data publication. Today, we are sixth in Europe, and the number of open data sets that has been published has grown over 30 times within the last 3 years. So more and more awareness and understanding that private sector, citizens, other stakeholders actually utilize the data. And if the government has data, they need to publish it. You need to provide a transparency of the data that the government has so others can actually great value from it. And this brings us to the current state that we are in. People understand that data has value in itself. When talking about data, we look at the whole data value chain, whether it is from the collection, publication, also uptake, and actually creating an impact from it. But oftentimes there's a question, why care about data at all? And it's an important question. When we look at the EU data economy value, then by 2025, it is estimated that it is going to be roughly 336 billion euros. Estonia is right now leading data economy in EU with a little less than 5% of the whole GDP. It is estimated that better utilization of data can create savings up to 1.3 trillion euros through productivity increase in manufacturing. And similarly, even in EU health sector, the potential savings can be up to 120 billion euros. So there is a lot of potential for efficiency, better collaboration, new improved service delivery, and much more. In order to address many of those ambitions, we are really working throughout the whole data lifecycle. But a lot of the work is going to data governance. Why I'm talking about data governance today? It is crucial to ensure that the data is actually findable, data quality ensured, that we have people that are actually responsible within the government that care about different stakeholders' requirements when it comes to data reuse. So data management is a key aspect. And this has been highlighted in many different studies. For instance, it was shown that roughly 80% of any data science project time is typically spent on data preparation. So from this, we are really focusing on making sure that data is usable both within the government, but also for other stakeholders in different sectors. To achieve this, we have developed agency data catalog tool, which provides a way to manage and gather an overview of different data sets held by the government. And we are right now working on National Data Portal, which is one-stop shop basically to get access on different government held data, and regardless of the way you can consume the data, whether it is open data, whether it is different external data services, whether it is through using privacy enhancing technologies, and so on. The idea is to provide way for everyone interested in data reuse, a one-stop shop. But this brings us to open data. I previously mentioned that we haven't always fared well when it came to open data publication, but within the last couple of years, we have made a huge jump in that area. Today, we have 1,575 open data sets, but only less than 4 years ago, in 2018, we had 40 data sets. So that's a huge jump that we have had. And I saw that during the COVID time, there was really an understanding or increased understanding that there is actually kind of expectation from the society that the government needs to be open, needs to be transparent. Just think about the COVID crisis. Everyone wanted to know what is the situation. When talking about our objectives, then by 2024, we are aiming to have at least 2,600 data sets published. We are right now collecting speech to support speech recognition, develop different core services that I'm going to talk soon as well. So both private sector and public sector can integrate, use those services in their service provision. What we haven't fared well has been open data publication by municipalities. Municipalities today are slow to making their data available to others. So this is definitely one area that we need to work more. So if you have any requirements on data that hasn't been made public today, let me know. And you can find different data sets published by the different government agencies at avandmed.eesti.ee. So check it out. If you have any questions, any requests, let us know. Another way that we enable different stakeholders to consume government health data is via consent service. So the idea of a consent service is to allow sharing government health data via consent to a third party. Today we have roughly 8,000 consents given in a week. And since last year, when we made the service public, there has already been generated over 200,000 consents. They are mostly today, all the use cases in the financial sector. So making it more easier to get the loan, financial credits, and so on. But let's move on to utilization of data. We came out with our first AI strategy in 2019, and back then we saw that the public sector should be a leader in this area. The private sector is still going through digitalization, and much that has or will be developed in public sector can be also reused potentially in the private sector. So we came up with the idea of reusable AI components, which I'm going to talk in a second. What is the difference between the first AI strategy and the one that we are currently working on is data as an enabler as an additional pillar. We understood that we need to focus on making sure that everyone has access to data, that data governance is put in practice both in the public sector, but increasingly we are also looking towards private sector, educating, providing the different tools that we have developed, also providing courses and so on. We are right now preparing to work on our next AI strategy. Whether there is a special focus on collaboration, reusability, we'll see, but definitely they are key areas that we need to focus on. But let's come back to the AI implementation within the government. So today we have over 100 different projects within the government. And the core aspect of achieving that is through reusability. You can find different solutions at koodivaramu.eesti.ee. And the idea was that if there is more than one agency, more than one stakeholder, whether in the public sector or in private sector, we should make it available to everyone as open source. And we have utilized this approach consistently. Back in 2018, we had only 4 AI use cases implemented within the central government. Today, over 100. So it has really paid off. And I just need to say that today, within the government, we have no fully automated processes whereby an AI takes a major decision. Just to bring some examples. Real-time subtitling solution that provides subtitles at our national broadcasting is both used by national broadcasting, but also private sector. Similarly, it has been tested in various government agencies as well. We are currently working on Bureaucrat, which is, in a nutshell, government virtual assistant. The solution itself is open source. You can check it out. We plan to make it available both in Estonian, English, and Russian. The idea is to provide a way for citizens, different stakeholders to choose their preferred device channel to communicate with the government, but also provide personalized services. So it is really a virtual assistant. And you can see many other different AI solutions as well at koodivaramu.eesti.ee. So for instance, a solution to identify ice in the water, how to provide keywords to different text, and so on. Machine translation, speech synthesis, and much, much more. But in order to ensure that everyone is willing to share the data that they have, also everyone have access to different developed solutions, we are really working also on privacy and trust. Right now, one of the focus areas is synthetic data, how to generate data from different government databases that don't provide an overview of private data. Also, we created a tool for anonymization that everyone can reuse. We are working on data literacy. We are educating people both through up and reskilling. Right now, we are undergoing an upskilling program, educating roughly 100 data analytics and so on. But to draw everything together, what are the most important lessons that we have learned during our journey? Improve search and access to data. This is extremely important for the government. You need to ensure that everyone, every stakeholder has an overview of what data the government actually has and they are reusable. Reusability, it actually works. Make it publicly available as open source. Be transparent also how you go through the development process. And practical cooperation. Nothing that I have shown and talked today about wouldn't be possible without practical cooperation. So whether it is with private sector, universities, or even other countries. And finally, what my university doctor used to say, keep it simple. Many of the projects that we have carried out have been simple, small scale, to test out if they actually work or not. So keep it simple, stupid. This is all from my side, and if you have any questions, any ideas, anything that you want to collaborate on, always happy to answer. Thank you.